He is.
And what about Erica?
Erica, as of right now, is good to go. We'll see how she is after practice, but I would say good.
And that seems like a big deal to potentially have them both and at least have Maisha when you've got as big and physical of a team as Vegas. What are your thoughts on that? And how much does having Maisha in particular help you in terms of causing mismatches or just kind of mixing and matching there?
Well, it's huge. I mean, first of all, the first time we played them, they didn't really, stop her at all. I think that was, I'm not positive, but I think it was 32 points. So that was huge. And also, it allows us, I don't know how much we'll do it, but they like to play a big lineup some. And so it gives us an opportunity to match that if we need to, with having more post depth than we've had. We can, when they go to a lineup where they have Wilson and Hamby and Cambage all in the court at the same time, we can match up with that if we want to. And so that just gives us more options.
Have you been able to put in that three big lineup a little bit in practice? I know it was kind of tabled.
Not too much because Tina actually, because her not being here, we did it a few times this week. We did it a little bit when Elena was out there with her and Maisha and, either Erica or Teresa. We did that a little bit, but it's not enough right now to have a lot of rhythm to it.
And with Tina, I know she didn't score a whole lot during the Olympics. Has she been back in practice hunting her shot like nothing happened, or is there any acclimation period?
We've only had, 2 practices with her. So, today was more of a shooting practice and not a lot of 5-on-5 stuff. So, it wasn't one of those days where you could do it. We just want them all to get a rhythm today. We had such a long day flying last night with all the delays. So it was good just to go on the court and kind of get a rhythm. So I don't know how that's going to look as we add people back into her. We need her to be aggressive, but we're also trying to get a little bit more balance to our offense going forward too.
And with this season starting again, do you have any sort of time frame on an answer from Emma?
No.
You're just going to let her decide?
Well, at some point, it just won't be able to happen with, unless something happens, fairly soon, just because there's work visas to do and those kinds of things. I'm sure we'll have some sort of answer in the next couple of days. At least that's my hope.
Sounds good. I will stand by with bated breath.
Me too.
Jen.
Hey, Leilani, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'll just start with the obvious. How were the Olympics?
It's a little bit of mixed emotions. Obviously didn't go the way we wanted, but still always an honor to, go to the Olympics and represent your country.
Did you get to see family or do anything in between Tokyo and DC?
No, well, I had a few days off, so I just drove for a couple days to the beach to have a few days. But no, I couldn't go to Australia because the borders are still closed. So you have to do a mandatory 2-week quarantine. So I just flew straight back here. Gotcha. Well, not here to Vegas, but to DC.
You've been all over.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, right now, mentally, physically? Were you able to refresh, reset, or do you still feel kind of tired from all you've been through?
I don't feel tired, maybe more mentally drained because it was just a lot that our team had to deal with, from leading up our preparation to Tokyo to then how we actually performed at the Olympics. So honestly, I was struggling for a while. And so I needed those few days to just try to digest all the feelings I was having and thoughts and frustrations and all of that. So it was good for me, very thankful to coach. And I made sure I told him that I was thankful that he gave us a few days just so I can try to deal with that and then reset and come in with a fresh mindset, obviously, with the Mystics and try to, make a good push and move up the ladder heading into the playoffs.
And how was it coming in and magically almost everybody's healthy or on the upswing?
Yeah, it's great. I think we had 11, well, 12 for a little while in practice the other day, yesterday. So it was good. It just felt crowded, but just like more than that, just seeing everyone again. It's been great because I feel like we have a good bond amongst all the girls and even with the staff. So it was great just to have everyone back in the gym. It's been a few weeks to almost a month that we haven't seen each other, some of us. So it's been great. And obviously that time was good for our team, that they were able to rehab those that were injured or had little things bothering them. Still, some of them are working their way in, but there's a lot of excitement just having everyone back on the court, and the potential to have everyone back in the next few games is just exciting for us.
And we heard both from Ariel and Maisha that Ariel got a lot of like 1 a.m. Tokyo time phone calls from Maisha, who messed up the time difference. Did you get similarly woken up in the middle of the night?
Well, I mean, she tried to call me, but I put my phone on silent, so I didn't. It didn't wake me up. But she tried to make a few phone calls, but she never thinks about where people are in the world or what the time might be. She wants to call someone, she just does right away. And she missed us. Like I said, it's good to be back and just be around everyone, and everyone's in high spirits and feeling good.
You got to teach Ariel how to put her phone on silent.
I know. That's why I said, you answered? And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, okay.
Last one for me, and then I'll let Wilson jump in here. Kind of a totally on a different note. Just curious, I know obviously you're teammates with Erica this year, and you've played with Dawana, her sister, in Phoenix previously, and just curious, your observations of those two. They don't really look alike body type, they play differently, but what have you seen from playing with both of them now? And yeah, just kind of your thoughts there.
Yeah, I mean, two totally different people, obviously, but personalities as well, position, playing style, all that. But I think the one thing is that they're just good people, good human beings. Erica's always upbeat, encouraging everyone. She was injured for a while and had her little surgery, but she was still there supporting us, whether it was in person or over message when we were at our road games. And Dawana's the same. She's just a very caring person. And so it's good. It's good to see, be able to play with both of them. But obviously, just for the two of them, they should be so proud, because it's very rare that sisters, we have a few sisters in the league, but it is rare that you have sisters that are able to make it to the top level, and not only, make it 1 or 2 years, they've both been playing for a long time. So, it's great and something they should be very proud of.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wilson?
Hey, Leilani, I know Jen already touched on it, but heading into the break, I know you guys were kind of just trying to get to that point so everyone could reset. I know a couple of y'all coming back from the Olympics. Now that we're finally here, Tasha the other day, it's tale of 2 seasons. You take on Vegas tomorrow. Where are you guys at? It's one thing to be looking forward to a certain point just to make it. It's another thing once you're here and you still got 13, 14 some odd games to go.
Yeah, we have quite a few games, so there's still a lot of chances to make a good push. And I think we can still even possibly finish in the top 4, which is great heading into the playoffs, missing out on the single elimination round. So with everyone back, like I said, everyone's in good spirits, everyone's feeling great. The people that are injured are progressing the way they should be, or faster than they should be. So we're excited. Obviously, we came into the season and our goal, like everyone's goal, is to win a championship. And there were some moments there where it was just kind of like, get through this game, because we only had 6 or 7 players, and it was a struggle, to be honest. But we got through it, and everyone's had their chance to get away, reset, get healthy. And like I said, we're just excited to be back together. They've had a good 2 weeks of training together. The 3 of us that were going to the Olympics weren't there, but just speaking to all the girls, they said it was great. Just getting back to the way we want to play, sharing the ball, playing more up tempo. So we're looking forward to it tomorrow. Obviously, Vegas is a big test, one of the top teams. But I think with everyone back and the way that we've sort of adjusted our playing style a little bit, I think, we're going to go out tomorrow and it'll be a battle.
And then lastly, just as one of the point guards on this team, how excited are you about having your full disposal weapons on the floor with you or getting very close to it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think that we, like, from top to bottom, we're just so deep. We have so many people that can come in and play and put up big minutes as they need to, play their role, whatever it may be. I think we're all good human beings here, which I think takes us a step further as well because, we're all going to be ready. But we also support those who are getting the chance or who are playing well. And I think that's a big thing for us in the culture here at the Mystics, is just how much we care about each other and we're happy, genuinely happy for each other. But at the same time, we come ready and we know what our job is and we need to bring that every single day too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it, Leilani. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good to see you guys again.
You too. Welcome back. Sydney should be up momentarily.
I am here.
She's here.
I'm here.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
It looks like when you're ready, Jen has a question. So Jen, I'll let you take it away.
Hey, Sydney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you've kind of answered my first question already, but I was gonna ask, I heard you guys had some flight delays, but how rough was it? When did you guys get in and how is the team feeling today? Seems like you at least are pretty upbeat still.
Oh, I'm just a really good actress. So things like that happened. There was a weather delay. We got to the airport and then it just kept like 30-minute increments being delayed. And then we actually got on the flight. We were on the plane for 25, 30 minutes. We weren't moving from the gate. And then we actually like parked on the runway. I was texting a couple people from the team. Like, it feels like we were at a drive-in movie theater with the other planes, like waiting for the featured film. Like, what are we doing? Like, the skies closed. It was like anything that could have taken place besides actually getting our flight canceled basically took place. But thankfully we gained some time. We got in at 11, so it wasn't super bad. And then we were able to sleep in today and get on the court, get moving a little bit. So I think, that's part of the professional lifestyle. Obviously, it would be nice not to have to handle or deal with commercial flights. It would be nice to have a charter flight so we could eliminate some of those details, but working on that. And you make do. You got to show up and do your job. And we play tomorrow. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of adrenaline going into that.
Sounds like the airline was just trying to like force you onto West Coast time. That's my takeaway.
They did a really good job. We are now on West Coast time.
So looking ahead to tomorrow, what are like the 2 or 3 big keys that you guys need to execute?
The Aces love to be physical and run the floor. They love to play with pace and force the issue defensively and offensively. So I think we just got to make sure that we stick to our game plan on how we're covering them, trying to dictate what they're doing defensively, stop them in transition. They like to get out and run, making them uncomfortable I know that they have dominant post players, but taking care of them and making sure that we can close out to the shooters, across the board. They have weapons everywhere. And then continuing to work on, we worked a lot the last couple of weeks on ball movement, playing with pace ourselves. And so I think making sure that we have a good management of playing with pace in the half court, pushing the issue in the full court, but knowing when to slow it down, what to look for, and then getting our feet back underneath us. That's our first game in about 5 weeks together. I know we had a couple Olympians who have been playing this whole time. So the rest of us just getting back into that game mode again will be good.
And then on a slightly different note, I wanted to ask you, because I know that you are one of the Mystics representatives for the Players Union. Tosh, about a week and a half ago, if I have my dates right, posted on Twitter complaining about a lack of COVID testing. And then I know you guys have started your twice weekly testing, and just curious, how involved have you been in discussions about testing, and how do you feel about the current protocols that you guys are doing? Do you feel like those are keeping you safe as you guys travel?
I think obviously it's important to bring back testing with how everything is taking place in the country and the world, the new variant, a lot more cases are going on. And especially now that we're traveling again, it's important to at least have those periodic tests to make sure that everyone is in the clear. And obviously we have to do our due diligence with we have daily health check-ins that we have to turn in as well, and be honest with those, with how we're feeling. And I think it's been a while since we've tested. So getting back into that mindset, getting back into that routine and rhythm, that takes time because there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's a different testing system than we did before. And so we're trying to work out the kinks and trying not to make it, obviously you want it to be a major part of protecting us and putting our health and safety first, but we want it to be smooth so it works into what we're doing from a basketball standpoint, from making sure that it's just part of our routine and rhythm 2 days a week now. So I think we got the kinks out last week. We had our second testing session today, and it went a lot smoother. So there's always ways. We're always looking for ways to make sure that we're communicating with the union and the league to make sure that our health and safety are legitimately the top priority. So we're talking about it. We're being honest with what needs to be better. And I've been getting feedback from the team and sharing that, and we will proceed accordingly and safely.
You mentioned that the testing system is a little bit different from what you did before. Is the general routine for you all the same, or is the new system like streamlining that or changing that up for you guys at all?
Yeah, it's basically, we are not, it's like a cartridge. It's more like a digital app. Like you do the swab, put it in this little reader, like a cartridge reader, and then it comes through an app to make sure that everyone is in the clear. And there's like individual readers, and it takes a little bit longer to get not super long, like 20 to 30 minutes it takes to read and make sure we're good. It used to be, we had testing people who would come in, do the swabs, do whatever. I don't even know what they would do with it, because you just take the test, and then you would go to practice, go to the gym, whatever. And it was quick, like the results are quick. So it's just a different process that we're going through.
Gotcha. And I'm not seeing any other hands, so I'm going to monopolize your time with one more very different, somewhat random question about your pal Erica. I know you guys are pretty close, so I'm just curious. How well do you know like her sister Dewana or others in her family? Have you seen any of those like fun McCall interactions?
I actually haven't. I'm Bird and I, obviously it's nice that we are on the same team, and we've been against each other for years, and now we're in the same atmosphere. But with how crazy the first half of the season was, I was not in Vegas for the All-Star weekend, and I know her sister DB was an All-Star. Bird came out to support. Her family was there to support. Bird has, I think when we played Connecticut in Connecticut, their family came out there for that. And usually it's a tough balance because you want to make sure that they have their time as a family. And I know that they would be open to have me there. It's nothing like that, but you want to make sure, like, if you guys want to do your thing. Our time will come. I actually haven't met people like personally yet. I think a couple of years ago when she was playing for Indiana and I was with LA, we got dinner together, and DB was there, or Candace was there, DB was there. People were there, and I was able to interact with people. But since then, you just sort of cross paths, you say hi to each other casually, but I haven't had that like family interaction, but I know it's coming.
Gotcha. Well, from whatever I can tell, it seems like that will be extremely exciting for you. So
excited. They're beautiful people, truly.
Thank you very much, Sydney.